Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's Thursday morning, January 12th, 2023, and I am your host, Clean Hippie. Restream, you guys with your permissions on here are just messed up. They have still not fixed this. I have complained to them so many times.
You just don't pay
What
attention.
do you mean I don't pay attention? No, your settings and my settings shouldn't commingle. That shouldn't
That's
happen.
true. But you just
That's what I'm
never
talking
change
about.
it in the morning.
Well, I know. I'm less diligent. You know what I am doing in the morning? I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I have oh no, I hope I haven't already crossed the line with YouTube. I wake up and I'm like, oh no, we need stories to talk about, and that's what I worry about. And then I worry about how am I going to make a title for this that's going to be interesting that people are going to want to click. Do you know that uh, YouTube has a rule now. Like if you curse in the like first 15 seconds, you're immediately like flagged. Can't monetize it.
Well,
Yeah,
shit.
not really a problem over here on rumble.com/JJW since I am not monetized anyway. But
I would never know.
yeah, well on Rumble we're monetized. I think we've made like 2 cents, but on YouTube, no way. What do you mean you would never know?
Oh, I don't pay attention to crap like that, dude.
Yeah, right. Well, okay. Good morning. We actually have quite a few things to talk about. And some creepy things too, I guess. But how are your day? Oh, what is that? Is that fancy water? What is that?
That's just water that was in the car before I left, before I got out of the car.
Mm.
I was like, I'm taking this water.
Yesterday they were talking about those PCBs and those stylates and microplastics and stuff like that. And I know we've talked about it before, but a couple of weeks ago when I was drinking out of that red coffee mug, you spooked me and brought it back up, and I was like, drinking hot coffee out of a plastic mug,
I don't like
and then
that.
I tossed it. I got rid of it,
Oh, you
and
didn't have to toss the whole
yeah,
thing, but
yeah. I mean, I got rid of it. I didn't want to do it again. So now
it's not a smart idea. I
to
just
toss it? No,
no, I don't.
to drink.
To drink ingest hot anything from plastic containers. I mean, we all nuke stuff in microwavable bowls all the time. All
Yeah,
the time. It's not good for
yeah.
us. It's really not.
It's really bad for. I mean, I'm like, there's no definitive proof yet, but like, it's looking like 50 years of trends are looking like it's really bad for the male reproductive system. Like we are unable to effectively replace the population.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's creeping up in my content feed again, and I'm like, I'm a little concerned about it. I mean, maybe I don't need to be concerned about it. I'm not
It's
having
just
any more
the
kids.
AI algorithm reading your brain and typing it in before you
Yeah,
actually. I
yeah,
honestly believe that. I think YouTube reads your brain
yeah, probably
before
so.
it's got some
The
precognitive
AI, the
ability.
AI is over there. The computers are cooking, zzz, and it's like, I'm trained up. I now know everything. Now I'm going to read this man's brain. Oh my god, this is a
So
boring read.
so
This is
here's a
so
great
dull.
example. Last night, me and Kendra were sitting there in the living room, and I don't remember what we were watching on TV. I think we were watching like some live TV. I don't remember what it was. I think we were watching some live TV. And I remembered she was like, "Oh, mom's going to be gone a while. Why don't we watch a movie?" And I was like, "Ah, I know what movie I want to watch with you." I said, "Will you sit here and watch a movie? It's a couple of hours long, but will you watch a movie?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I know what I want to watch with you." So I went to Disney Plus and I went to search and I typed in MR. It's all I typed in, MR. And up popped the search results. And I went up and I saw, and I didn't even click on it. I just went up and highlighted Mr. Holland's Opus. Have you ever seen
Oh,
Mr. Holland's
oh
Opus?
no, I haven't. But
Oh,
I
well,
know that
you're
it
not a
was
music
quite well reviewed.
no, yeah, you're not a music person though. Or you didn't grow up learning music and being,
Eh,
like
not, yeah,
not so much. I am. And that movie is magnificent. And so I was like, and Kendra wants to be a music teacher. So I was like, oh my God, you've got to watch this movie. We got to watch this movie. So that's all I happened. But then I was like, but first I want you to hear a song. And here's where my story starts. Okay. Here's where the story
Okay.
actually starts. I said, first I want you to hear a song. Never said the name of the song, never said the person that sings the song. The only reason I thought of the song right then is because about 4 days ago, I heard the song on a classic station and thought, oh my God, I hadn't heard this in years. I love this song. I love this song. And so I went to YouTube and typed in LEAD. And the very first thing that popped up into the search chart was leader of the band, Dan Fogelberg.
Oh,
How in
really?
the fuck? How in I looked
Hmm.
at that and I looked at Kendra and I was like, wow. I was like, AI is getting a lot smarter. And she was like, what? And I said, it knew I wanted to hear Dan Fogelberg's leader of the band because it must have seen the TV go to Roku and see me go to Disney. And that's the only logical explanation I can come up with, is that it saw me go to Disney and saw me type in and to highlight Mr. Holland's opus and used all. That's the only logical, and that is far fetched. That is far stretching. Is it? I mean, can't
Well, maybe
figure out
not.
why it popped up. Leader of the
Is
band
your
by Dan
is your
Fogelberg.
Roku connected to your Google? Like, do you have those accounts where like one signs you into the other or something like that?
I've never logged into Google on the Roku.
Hmm.
We
I
used to
don't know.
use the
I mean,
PlayStation
this stuff
4.
happens a lot too.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know the little website that I showed you, Hero Forge, where you can make your
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
indie
yeah. You make
minis
a
and
little
stuff.
cartoon guy.
Yeah. So that one is here's a little experiment you can do. Hold your phone up. Everybody that's listening, hold your phone up to
Hmm.
the speaker. Hero Forge is a great website where you can create miniatures. Hero Forge. Now, in the next 2 days, let me know if you see Hero Forge ads, because anytime I say those two words together, Ashley will
Really?
send me a freaking screenshot within a day of thanks a lot, and it'll pop up on her phone.
So I
And
just
you
typed
know
HER. I just typed HER into my Google on my phone, and the fifth result is Hero Forge. And I can only have ever been there like one time because
one time.
I was like, what is that thing that's on your face or whatever is that
Yeah,
profile?
I made the me and you. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
"What
yeah.
is
I was
that?"
like that. I've been there like one time. Yeah,
That's
so AI. I, I
AI.
I just find it amusing that maybe like tremendous amounts of energy are being spent for the AI to learn all about us, and then the AI has to like spin its thumbs all day long, being like, this guy in Kentucky. They
That's what he said.
There's nothing interesting for me here.
So look, look at this, people out at home. Look what I've just done. I pulled what we like to call here on your two dads show. I pulled a JJW by
Uh-oh.
segueing into our next topic.
Yeah, look at you, man. You're pro. You're pro. You're gonna
I'm
be
getting,
you're gonna be a
I'm getting
professional
better.
soon.
I
Look at
am getting
this.
terrifying. Microsoft AI can build a robo clone of your voice after just 3 seconds.
That's awesome.
All right.
Right?
Your voice could be digitally cloned and used to impersonate you thanks to a creepy new AI called Val E. AI has unveiled an artificial intelligence system capable of mimicking any human voice based on just 3 seconds of audio. It can then be used to turn any written text into speech, making it possible for someone to put words in your mouth using the tool. It's even designed to recreate the emotional range and pacing of the speaker, making it a hyper accurate form of mimicry. This is as someone who I study inflection. I don't study, but I used to. I pay attention to how people say things, the inflection, where they put the inflection on words, where they put the inflection in the sentences. I pay attention to stuff like that. Most people don't. I do. And this is very interesting to me. When I came across this last night, I saved it and I was like, I gotta put this up here in the morning. Um, Only because I've been looking into the the technology that they're using for Val Kilmer, because he's
Oh
lost his
yeah,
voice, and they have so much of his recorded voice that they can recreate his voice for things. Now, in the new Willow TV show, I've been watching it. It's really good. It's kind of campy
really?
in certain, yeah, it's really good. It's kind of campy in certain spots, and it's not fabulous, just over the top. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. But it's decent. Okay. It's decent.
Okay.
So and there are a couple of points where Mad Mardigan's daughter Kit, um, she's hearing her father's voice, and
Ah,
you can you never see him, but there's a couple of points in a couple of different episodes where she's hearing her father's voice. But I have noticed, and it's not just like stuff that Val Kilmer's already said that they're replaying or have
right.
pieced it together, because I can piece together. I could listen to your audio for a long time and piece together a pretty good sentence. It'll
Right.
take me a long time, and I need
Yeah,
a
because
lot of
you gotta find where
audio.
the pitch matches from word to
Right,
word and where you
and
don't,
it'll take me a lot of audio and a lot of time, but I could do it pretty well. And that's just with my little bitty stuff. So imagine what they can do with their stuff. But I also noticed, what I was getting at is, what I also noticed is that Val Kilmer's brother, I think it was his brother, or his son, or one of them, also was in the show. I think they're supplementing his brother's voice to help with the AI. So this
okay.
AI tool that can mimic this Val E, um, it's just like this Twitter user, Kevin Nash. I wonder if it's the WWE guy. This is terrifying, thinking about scam callers getting their hands on this. This
Uh,
it's just
think of
it's
all the
really
amazing way. I mean, I've already thought of at least two great applications. Okay, so one, we can digitally recreate Batman the animated series. Now we can have it totally
not
replicate Kevin Conroy.
not just that, JJ, but every single person like that we have recorded audio of at least 3 seconds and has died. We
Right.
can recreate them, including artists, like musical artists. So does this mean that we can
Ooh.
create a new Tupac album?
Uh,
You know?
what about Prince? Let's bring Prince back.
Does this mean we can create a new Prince album? And if so, where does that money go? You know, who benefits, who profits off all of this?
We
And
probably need
is
an AI
this
to write music too.
and is this I mean, do we want this? Prince was a I'm only using Prince because you said the word
Yeah.
Prince. Okay.
Right.
I'm not a huge Prince fan, even though I do believe he's one of the greatest guitarists to ever pick up the instrument. Prince, do we
Oh,
want to continue on with these people forever? Do we want movies with Marilyn Monroe in it forever? Or do we want to respect the fact that she and he and they were products of their time, and
mhm.
we need to honor where they were in their time and hold them up for what they did in their time, and let someone else be a product of our time? You know what I'm saying? I don't want
Mm,
Prince. I don't want another Prince album, because
right.
Prince was a product of that time and he
Well,
was amazing. It's just like Jeff Beck just passed away a couple of days ago. And a lot of people probably
yeah,
don't
I
know
saw
who
that.
Jeff Beck is. One of the greatest, one of the greatest guitarists to ever pick up the instrument. And do you want, I mean, he was a product of that time. So a young kid coming up today is not going to be another Jeff Beck, because he wasn't influenced by the same people that Jeff Beck was. He was influenced by Jeff Beck and other people. So
Right.
I want the new kid, because the new kid is going to give me things that are similar and influenced by the artist, but he's going to give me new things, and it's going to build, and that's how we evolve. So I don't know if this is a good thing for some
Well,
applications that we're coming up with.
I mean, think of first of all, as soon as this is done, like working good, you're never going to be able to trust the news again, because you're not gonna, because it won't matter that it's a video clip and you see somebody say this or say that. You're like, there's a greater than zero chance that that's entirely fake.
You've already seen the deep fakes with Obama, and
Yeah,
they did the voice guy that did the impersonation, the vocal impersonation of Obama that was spot freaking on. And so they did the
yeah,
deep fake. They get somebody to do the vocal impersonation. Man,
right.
well, how can you tell what's real and what's not?
I'm not
This
sure.
this is just scary. I came across this and I wanted to just bring this to the forefront here because this is scary. People need to know that deep fakes exist in audio and visual. So and I
Some of
always
them
think
are
one
really
coworker.
convincing too.
Yeah, and I always think of one particular coworker when I come across stuff like this that she said to me one day. She was so sincere. She's so sweet, and she said to me, she was so sincere. She was like, "They wouldn't do something like that, would they?" You know. And we were talking about how 9/11, and would the government do that to our own people to incite patriotism, in order to do this? And she's like, "We wouldn't do that to ourselves, would we?" And she was very sincere. She had never thought about that before, and she was just like a little innocent little bunny rabbit. You're just like, you're just cute, you know? And so every time I see something like this, I always think of her, and I'm like, there are people out there that don't believe this is going on.
I
That this
mean, this will be used for all kinds of damaging ways. It'll be used by jealous romantic rivals to call someone and have them be broken up with by their girlfriend or boyfriend, and it
Oh my
it won't be a
god,
real
yeah,
fall.
pranks and everything. You're
uh,
exactly
it
right.
would, you'll get a call from your
Serial
mom.
killers.
Hey, your mom calls and say, "Hey, something's wrong with the light bill. Can you help pay? I just need your credit card, and I'm gonna. And they're not taking mine. I need your credit card information."
Exactly, exactly, but then you said that well, you said your mom, and that brings me that opens up a whole new realm of possibility, though, that's for me, in that if I had, and I don't, but
Oh,
if I had a recording on a voicemail of my mom, I
right.
could have her saying, "Hey, bub, I love you. I miss you." And God, for those who don't know, my mom
Or
passed like 4
or
years
or
ago.
writing or having the AI voice of your mom read a letter
Oh
she may have
yeah,
left you.
I've got a book at home where she's written, to Andrew, blah 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 blah, and she's
Wow.
written stuff inside.
So there's some positive benefits from this. I mean, like bringing back, like, I mean, maybe it's unethical to bring back like Kevin Conroy to be the voice of Batman, but
Yeah,
like,
give
I mean,
somebody
like
else
he's
a
a
chance.
legend.
He's a
Yeah, but he's
legend.
the yeah, yeah,
He's a
yeah, right.
legend, and this is coming from a vocal person, a voice
Um,
actor person. So
I think I think we got to I actually I have maybe I'm not convinced yet, but I just have this idea that maybe we need to go dive headfirst into this and just 100%. I mean, I'm talking robots, AI, voice AI, all of it. We just need to go as far as we can, as fast as we can, so that the robots can just become sentient, and then we can just start the robot war as fast as possible and just and wipe them out and move humanity into a post AI, post robotic age, having discovered that they're evil. I think we just
JJ,
have to get there as fast as possible.
JJ, there is no spoon.
There's no spoon.
There is no spoon. Do you get that?
I mean, I wrote another movie. I don't know what it has to do with the
From the
robots, the
Matrix.
robot war. Oh, they were robots,
That was the
but there was
robot
a
war.
spoon. He bent that spoon.
But the little girl, do you not remember
Yeah,
that part?
yeah, I remember. But
And
she
he's
bent
very
it.
she bent it, and he's asking to find it.
Right,
He's trying to find out
right.
how did you bend the spoon? How did you bend it? And she goes,
Yeah, but in your analogy,
"There
my
is no
life is the one
spoon.
that's fake. In
You're
your
beginning to
analogy,
catch on."
no, I'm real.
You think?
Oh wow! Jordan asked if anyone's watched Megan yet. I watched the trailer for Megan, and
No,
I
no,
I
I
saw
need
some
to.
photos of the little girl that's playing that creepy
Yeah.
robot.
If y'all are gonna talk
Apparently,
about the creepy robots, I'm going to get coffee because I'm
apparently it's getting pretty decent reviews, like a pretty fun little movie, PG-13, scary robots and the age. It's something about it being like the age of TikTok. So it's like a horror movie for the age of TikTok. If it's unethical, okay. So Jeremy says if it's unethical to bring back the voice of Kevin Conroy, then it would be equally unethical to bring back the Chadwick Boseman and Carrie Fisher. Well, Carrie Fisher, I don't know about. I mean, it definitely was unethical for them to reproduce Grand Moff Tarkin. That guy had been dead for like 20 years, you know, before before they before they did that show. I think Carrie Fisher was alive when they started filming that, and her family may have, kind of okayed it. I mean, an actor could make an agreement that gives their digital
I
likeness
agree.
rights over. So
I
I don't
agree
know if
with
it's
Jeremy on
ethical
that.
or not.
I agree with Jeremy on that. I didn't think that they should have done that either.
I mean,
I didn't like
I
it.
don't agree that they should have done it. I think they should
Uh-uh.
not have done it.
No, I don't. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
But
It was. I didn't like it.
um,
Hey,
let's
when he was
see.
asking about Megan, Kendra and I did watch a movie last night that was a kind of a freaky, scary one that you may have heard of. What is that? Is that from you?
Is it you hear that? That's my
Yeah.
wife's treadmill.
Oh
It's
no,
moving.
okay. I thought it was
It's
a train.
inclining.
Oh, I thought it was a train coming. I could hear it. We watched the movie Smile, and it was pretty freaky. I don't know if he heard me or not. But if you, the only reason I heard no, it's cool, no, you're good. The only reason I noticed that is because I noticed those little bitty noises and whatnot and crap.
Yeah,
We watched the movie Smile. Have you seen that?
I saw the trailer for that in the theater, and it looked kind of creepy, interesting. But
It is. It's
my
not
friend
bad.
will watch scary movies with me, but my wife won't most of
Yeah,
the time.
Ashley won't.
So
Kendra will. Ashley won't.
So usually it's me on HBO or whatever at like 11 at night watching 20 minutes of a movie and then fall asleep. So it takes me a while to get through some of those.
Well, Smile was it wasn't the greatest movie you've ever seen in your life, but it was pretty good. Me and her predicted the ending, not 100% predicted,
Right.
but she was like,
"Hold on, let me try." The bad guy was a dentist.
oh, holy shit! You seen it?
No,
No. She was like blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and I was like, ooh, I bet you're right, and it was really really close to what she predicted. So, and then me and her are the same type of people. Some people hate watching movies with us because we do that. We like to predict what's going to happen in the movie halfway through the movie, and we want to predict halfway through the movie to see if we're right. Me and her both.
Most of the time, my wife and I are watching movies like at our house. That's very rare that we go to theaters nowadays. And so when we're watching it at our house, there's two things that happen that probably annoy other people a little bit. One is that we turn on the closed captions.
I do too.
All the time.
Closed caption on all the time.
And it's not like I'm hard of hearing, although there's sometimes when I'm like, I don't understand what they're saying. So I'd rather just have the captions. I just like having captions on.
Yeah, I do too.
The other thing is, and we don't do that when we have guests so much, is that like something will happen and I'll just stop the movie and turn to my wife and be like, you know what, I think and I'll stop the whole movie to just tell her
another
predict it. I'm calling it now.
One thing that I do that drives Ashley absolutely crazy, and this is something that I've always done, is I'll go, I know who that is. Wait a minute. I know that voice. That person was in blah, blah, blah movie from 1982 with so-and-so. And I know that voice. That is, he played the bug on the dinosaur cartoon, and it drives her nuts because I'll be, Googling who's the cast and where was he and oh my God. And so, yeah, that's me.
Right. Deacon, I got some good news, bad news. You want some good news, bad news? Here you go.
Not really.
Okay. You want some just, I don't know, bad news?
I just want news, dude. You just can't give me
okay.
news.
I think this is an important opportunity for somebody, and I don't know who yet, but check this out. Mackenzie Scott officially divorced from Seattle teacher Dan Jewett. 4 months after billionaire filed. Now, Mackenzie Scott is the ex-wife of Amazon,
Jeff
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
And she walked out of that Jeff Bezos relationship with like billions of dollars.
That was a
And now after
good
just a few
move for
months,
her. This was a good move for
yeah,
this guy.
yeah, right. So think about this. If these people just keep getting married and divorced again, we're going to just
We're
trickle
all
that
gonna have
fortune.
money.
It's going to come to us. It's going to come to
We'll all
some
have
of
money.
us.
That's
So
right.
if you're on the market for a new husband or a wife, there's a great pair here. Each of them got a buttload of money. It's like money can't buy you love, Mackenzie.
I think she's doing good stuff with all those billions of dollars that she got, though. I mean, she's been given a bunch to
Sure.
schools and stuff and whatnot. So she's actually been more it's been more publicized, I guess, from her than
Right.
everybody else.
Well,
If the other billionaires do it, but she has been given a shitload of money. Our little local community college got a crap ton of money from the Mackenzie Scott Foundation a couple of years ago.
oh,
She was doing all
cool.
that, and I didn't know what or who she was until I was like, until I read that story, and I'm like, who? Why is this? No, who is this lady giving a bunch of money to
Right.
our little college, our little community college?
Well,
And I started
keep
looking into
shoveling
it, like, wow,
money
that's awesome.
into that empty hole in your heart of
It's
fulfillment.
like, what's his name? What's his name? The billionaire, Mark.
Cuban. Mark Cuban.
Cuban. Okay, Mark Cuban. He's got the pharmacy. Do you know about the pharmacy that he's got?
No, what's that?
He's got this online pharmacy that he only charges 10% over what he pays for the pill. Okay, he charges 10% over what he pays for the pill to pay for his costs. And then he charges $4 on top of that, $4 or $5 on top of that, because that's what the pharmacy charges him. And then he sells it to you for that price. So there was a cancer pill, a leukemia medicine that was like $10,000 a month that he was selling it for like $100 and something a month because he's not making a profit on it because he's a billionaire. I've got the website saved here somewhere, right here.
The pharmacy?
Costplusdrugs.com. Costplusdrugs.com. Transparent pricing. This particular drug costs $4.80. Okay. It costs $4.80. It costs $183.60 at other pharmacies. So that's Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs. Hundreds of common and often life-saving.
So he's doing that. He's doing that as a sort of a philanthropic type business, right? Not rake over. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure that most pharmacies are really trying to rake customers over the coals. Really,
I'm not talking about pharmacies. It's the drug companies.
Yeah, it's the drug companies that they're really and you know they have to cover R&D costs. There's a bunch of drugs that have like a very Look, I'm just saying I'm not a pharmacist. I don't know.
I know,
but like
I know what you're
for every drug that comes to the market, it's got to be put through all kinds of trials. And there's some people that there's like one in 200,000 cases.
If it's a vaccine or a booster, right?
Right. Oh, we can get that out there. We can get that out there fast. Hey, just get the government to make everybody buy your trash. All right. Here's some other news. Now, this happened at the very end of the show yesterday, so we couldn't cover it yesterday. So I feel bad that we didn't cover it right because I saw it, but we were already on our way out, and I didn't cover it. So yesterday, the all flights were grounded for like an hour or so during our show. Over 6,400 flights delayed following a massive system failure. And of course, there was some concern that it may have been a cyber attack. We're really vulnerable in all kinds of infrastructure, especially our electrical distribution systems. Apparently, our fuel distribution pipelines are really vulnerable. So there was some concern that this may have been a cyber attack. But according to statements from the FAA, and from what I can tell, they're saying it was due to a corrupt database. So due to a corrupt database, the NOTAM system got turned off or something. I don't know.
That's two bullshit generic words if I've ever heard them.
That's literally
God, go pull the hard line.
Yeah, right. It's literally this story right here. It just literally says a corrupt database file is to blame for this computer outage.
I'm surprised the son of a bitch didn't say Russian hackers.
Yeah. So that happened yesterday. But hey, it's still the safest way to travel.
Wouldn't you think that that they would have a humongous fucking problems on their hands if a corrupt database can cause this much problems?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, oh, we don't even have to have a sophisticated attack. We just have to put some garbage in there. Just get in there and like leave pictures of donuts or something.
And I would like to know, as a curious person, I would like to know what the corruption was and what the database was, because I have a database of music here that I call a folder of music, and it's a database. And I could put it's got nothing but MP3s. It's actually WAV files, because stupid freaking program will only read WAV files. So if I put a document file in there, I'm technically corrupting that folder, right? So I've corrupted that database from the MP3s. I mean, so I see your corruption. It's a generic term, corruption, data corruption.
You know, a lot of us have been trying to fight corruption in government for a long time. So I don't believe them. I think that now it may not have been a cyber attack, but I don't believe them just because they say it's a corrupt file. I don't believe them about anything. So, we'll
that's
see.
Because you're a crazy.
No, I just assume everyone can lie, and is willing to, because they can and they are. They can and are willing to lie, and they do it every day. Okay, so that's plain talk right there. Deacon, this is something that's really gonna
JJ didn't
concern you.
I changed the names.
Oh, did you? I didn't. Orville. Oh,
do you
nice.
It goes along with our topic today in our title card.
It's my cousins. All right, Deacon. This is gonna.
I just got that.
Nah, thanks. This is going to give you the big bad feels or something. I think. Here, check this out. Kumail Nanjiani accuses Hollywood. You do? You like him?
I think he's Hollywood. Funny. I think he's crazy left liberal, but the stuff that he's been in is funny.
He accuses Hollywood studio executives of racism, unwittingly exposing an anti-white agenda. People don't want to cast non-white people as bad guys. They don't want to cast brown people as bad guys. This fella is complaining. So now,
I mean, I'm not.
Harold and Kumar, I've never seen, but I know he's in it, and he's the guy.
Harold and Kumar.
He's not. Am I mistaken? I thought he was in Harold and Kumar.
You're thinking of the other guy. This is the. I mean, he's a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian. I really thought he was.
No, he's in the Eternals, and he was in Community. He was in Obi-Wan. Yeah, right there. He's in Obi-Wan. He was the guy that acted like the Jedi in Obi-Wan. He really wasn't the Jedi, but he was the guy that acted like the Jedi. Do you remember that?
I didn't watch Kenobi. That show was terrible. It was awful. That is the dumbest I've ever seen. I watched one episode. It was not good.
I didn't watch Kenobi because it was terrible. How can you say it was terrible if you didn't watch it?
I did watch one episode, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
how can you judge the whole thing over one episode? Do you read 2 pages of a book and say that it's stupid?"
Sometimes.
Okay. Anyway, this guy, I'm not going to agree with him. No, I'm not going to agree with him, but I'm going to say that he's right in a sense that for 30 years in Hollywood, the bad guy was always a non-white guy. I mean, I won't say a non-white guy. I will say most of the time it was a person of that was not white. And I'm saying this as somebody who hates that shit, as a white guy who hates the
Right.
fact that I'm having my ass handed to me all the time and I didn't do shit to nobody. You know?
I mean, we had like I don't know, a billion years of movies where bad guys were white guys because they were all Nazis or
That's true.
I mean, or Germans or whatever. And then we had 9/11, and America was like, oh, there's terrorists out there, and so for like a bunch of years we had like
Well,
terrorist
I
villains.
think I think we just I think we realized that bad guys come in every color, whether they're
Yeah,
yellow or red or
but I
brown or
think I
white
think
or
what he's saying
blue.
is that Hollywood executives, they don't want to cast brown people as villains because it'll like look bad, right?
He's
It'll look
right.
bad.
They're not doing that now because they're trying to go with this woke mindset that's out there. And most of the people that are watching this crap, I don't think we care if the bad guy is white, black, brown, purple. I don't care as long as
Right.
he's written well. I don't care what he looks like. Give him a damn horn on his head and make him a third eye coming out of his back.
I mean, like, I don't care what color the villain is. I just want him to be like an interesting, compelling performance. Just to be interesting. Uh, so Johnny compared himself to Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies, who not only played the Winter Soldier, but apparently, and like this is his big comparison, uh, plays the Winter Soldier in the MCU, but also is able to jump out of that role and become Steve, an organ harvesting cannibal serial killer in a Hulu original film, Fresh. Now Johnny, nobody saw Fresh. Nobody knows what that is. I mean, sure, Sebastian Stan can do that, I guess. And you were in Obi-Wan, and so like you did the Eternals and you did Obi-Wan. I mean, what's he saying, that he wants to play bad guys? I mean,
He was a good bad guy, this guy.
okay.
He
Does he have-
I don't know if he wants to be typecast or not, but he is a good bad guy.
mm, okay. This is yeah, this is from the Eternals. He was in that, is in the Eternals. I mean, that's Eternals is his like big tentpole movie that he was in. It's not really
He
holding
was
up
in
its end, I don't think.
he had a bit part in the TV show Community as well. He was the head janitor, the head custodian. I'm sorry, not janitor. He was a custodian, the head custodian. LaPerry.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing
I don't care
anything
if
that he's been in that I
I
really
don't care if the bad guy is white, black, brown,
I don't care.
yellow, red. I don't care what color his skin is. I don't.
Guys in chat, tell me how much you care that the bad guys are brown or white in movies. Normal people don't care about this stuff. Normal
They
people are
want us
like,
to care. They want us to care.
yeah. This is whatever. You know what he's doing? He's just angling to get another gig because Eternals flop.
He's trying to keep
He's trying to get it
popular.
Yeah, right. Okay. Speaking of somebody else that can't seem to get a job as a bad guy, Hugh Jackman says he's going to need 6 months to get back into shape for Deadpool 3.
And don't take off your
I've never seen Hugh Jackman play a bad guy. Have you? Nobody will give this guy a bad guy role. Poor Hugh Jackman.
Man, I've got no disrespect for Hugh Jackman at all. But I'm kind of over Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the Wolverine.
Hey, Padakian, how you doing? Thanks for watching on Twitch.
Lurker?
Yeah.
No, I like Hugh and he was great, but I mean, going back around full circle to what we said earlier, man, he had his time and I'm done with the Wolverine stuff. Let's do something else.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
if you're going to do Wolverine, how about you hire a different actor who's maybe, I don't know, 5'3" or 5'4" and tell the story differently?
Hasn't he definitively proved that nobody cares how tall Wolverine is, though?
No, he's proved that people definitively don't know the fucking comic books and don't know their history, and they can sell they can sell shit that you put into people's faces. Okay. Because 90% of the people that are Wolverine's my favorite comic book hero has never read a Wolverine comic. And they couldn't tell you his biography. They couldn't tell you his dimensions. They couldn't tell you that he's supposed to be very
Right.
short, and that a main part of his attitude and his ego is that he has little man syndrome. That's the main part of his whole
I want to hear. Okay, here's what. First of all, I think I disagree with you. I think we need to have Hugh Jackman come back one more time as Wolverine with Deadpool, just because of the
only Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Just because of Ryan Reynolds. Only because of Ryan Reynolds. Okay, now, so I'm happy to. I'm very excited to watch that. Actually, now once we get past that, we'll set it aside and we'll think about our next Wolverine. But I will agree with. I'm gonna give you must be short. Okay, for the next Wolverine must be short, and I want thick Canadian accent.
Okay,
very thick. I want to hear Wolverine saying about a boot.
About I can't I have to listen.
Yeah.
Me and a lady in this Minnesota shop, when I was up there in the Mall of America, we had a conversation about that because sometimes I'll put on my Southern accent a little more than usual. You know, sometimes you have to draw it out a little more, and people will be like, "Oh,
I've actually done that on the phone before to get customer service to be more helpful."
Yeah. Sometimes you just, I'm from Kentucky.
Hey, thank you for taking this call. I appreciate it so much.
How y'all doing?
Just need your help. Hey, I've done that.
Hey, how y'all doing? Oh, it's good. How you mom and them?
It works too.
Hey, mom and them. I said,
hey, how's your mom? No, I want to see a cinema, right? Cinema. I want to see the silhouette of Wolverine kind of like step out from the light, and then it looks up at the, I don't know, Omega Red or some big bad, and then it's like, and then he says something like, what would Wolverine say? He would say something like,
I'm the best there is at what I do.
Yeah, but deeply Canadian.
I'm the best at this. What I do. What I do isn't nice. That's not Canadian.
You're right. You do need a warm up.
I got to warm up. But
he's got to say "eh" in there.
Eh?
All right.
I think that would be Bob and Doug McKenzie. Eh?
Yeah.
Eh? Took? Eh? The took? Eh? I got a CD back here that it's called by the Youpers. It's a deer hunting CD. That if I listen to that a little bit, I might be able to help you out with the.
That is not Canadian. Let me see.
I know this is more of a. I don't know what kind of accent this is.
How you doing? No, I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I should have prepped for this. I didn't prep for this.
Yeah, I actually have little things that I listen to. If I'm doing a Boston accent, I've got a thing that I listen to that helps me, that I repeat.
So Hugh told. I'm going to close this out. Hugh was being interviewed by Chris Wallace, who sucks. And he was saying that he's going to need like 6 months. He's already fit because he's doing Broadway and he's doing the Music Man. But he's in good shape, but he just got to pack on the muscle, and that means 6 months of eating like a whole bunch of chickens. So he's gonna get there. I'm looking forward to this. So
you're going to be paying more money eating chickens and eggs.
That's all. Thank you, sir.
Everybody's talking about right now.
I was looking for it, and now I can't even find it. You got it? Do you got it?
No.
Where'd it go? I lost it. I had it here. Let me pull it up on this one. Yeah, eggs. Oh my gosh, the eggs. The
bird flu really kind of put a damper onto this, man. Because a couple of months ago, I was paying attention to this. My daughter has a bunch of chickens, and I was keeping up with it for her, you know. So.
Oh, for real? There's a bird flu.
There was a bird flu.
I know of the bird flu from like way back, but like
it just came back like 2 or 3 months ago. It was probably longer than that. It's been wiping through America, and I mean, there's been millions and millions of chickens that have been put down because
57 million birds.
A bunch of chickens that were put down over the past like 6 months because of this bird flu that was killing stuff everywhere this past year, and that's why that is a contributing factor to this. I mean, and other things and inflation, but that's a contributing factor. And when eggs go up, I'm sure everybody, the people that watch our show are intelligent, so I'm not having to tell you people this, but
So intelligent. They're so good. They know where all the like buttons are and the follow buttons. They know where all of them are.
I'm being serious. Eggs go into everything. So you're going to your little store to get your donuts or your freaking cake and your coffee or your cheesecakes and your all that stuff, your cupcakes in the mornings and whatnot. All that stuff's going up.
Yeah,
all that stuff that's got eggs in it is going up. And eggs used to be one of those staples that for poor people, it was a cheap protein, man. It was a cheaper protein, you know.
I mean,
Maggie,
I eat a lot of eggs. I have,
yeah,
I
you
like
do.
high,
Gosh, you do. When we went to New
high
York, you had
protein,
like
high fat,
6.
low carbs. Yeah, I eat a lot of, yeah, I did eat a lot of eggs. My wife, I think I mentioned this before it kind of hit the news like a week ago. My wife was complaining about $5 a dozen eggs. And so because of that, I had to change. I've been, I changed up my my morning routine because I really like 3 or 4 eggs a morning, and I've changed it. I cut down half as many eggs, and I'm putting more coconut oil and some other stuff into my.
Let me tell you something. Let me give you a tip, and I'll give viewers at home a tip as well. My youngest daughter, Maggie, is fixing to be 11. And her and her mother and their house, they live on a little farm with, her new husband, stuff like that. And they have goats and chickens. And Maggie has a bunch of chickens, like 170 something
I
chickens.
I am trying to talk my wife into it.
No, I'm not saying
Not 170.
get a chicken farm and open up a chicken farm. What I'm getting at is they have a lot of extra eggs that they sell and they
Yeah,
bring meat.
yeah.
Find someone in your area that has chickens and they get rid of their farm eggs. They get rid of their eggs. And you can look on Facebook and find Facebook groups and stuff that are like around my area and somebody that's selling eggs around your area and tell them, "Hey, how many of these can I get a week from you?" And they can say, "Well, I can provide 3 dozen a week. I'm your customer now."
Right.
And
Yeah.
that way you're not only you're helping directly the local farmer. You're getting fresh farm eggs, and more than likely, if you go to the right people, you're going to get farm from chickens that have been around the yard and are eating
Great.
bugs.
What
That,
do they call it?
free range. And
Free range. Yeah.
the chickens, the egg does taste better.
It does. It really does.
It really does
I
taste.
I had this last time my wife went to the grocery store for whatever reason, the free range eggs were cheaper than the normal mass produced ones. So
Yeah,
she got those, and I've been like, oh, these are really good.
yeah.
I'm trying to. I've been trying to like. I'm only like probably 60% serious that I'm trying to talk my wife into getting chickens because we had chickens when I was a kid and they stink and but
They do,
honestly
and
they're
it takes a lot of work.
bunch.
I mean, it
Yeah, I
does
mean,
take.
go out there and you feed them, you clean the water out, and you have to go in the coop and all that. But I'm kind of I didn't like doing it when I was a kid, but I think it was good for me, and we had unlimited eggs, so let's see if my wife will let us have a chicken farm in the backyard. Uh,
Sure, as long as you're the one to maintain it, because we both know that's not going to be the case. And I'm not doing chickens. I'm from Dallas, not wherever country little
Yeah.
Texas town you think I'm
it's
from.
this will be like a long term thing.
No.
So
I'm thinking about it with the
according to this article, the price of a dozen of large eggs in New York is now $8.79 a dozen. That's because you pay the New York tax, the tax of you live in New York.
Here in Kentucky, a dozen large eggs is like $3 or $4. Okay, which is
normally
double the price.
Are yours still down at that rate right now?
Yeah, it's unless it's gone up over the past 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
No, I need to go back to Walmart and look.
The average price nationwide right now is $5.40, and it was like $5.
Every time we get anything, the average price nationwide is blank. Kentucky is always lower. I don't care what it is. Paper towels,
Yeah.
freaking glue, gas, we're always lower for some reason. So if the average price is $5.80, it's probably
what's the current
$4.89.
price right now for a dozen eggs?
It's between $4 and $5, but I'll see tomorrow because I'm
she'll
going
find
for
tomorrow.
groceries.
Okay.
I bet
Having a heart
I
attack.
bet it's probably the same here. I bet it's about 450, 460, 470.
Okay.
Which honestly, I mean, you're looking at a dozen
cheaper
large.
to buy bougie eggs than just a set of white ones, like brown
She's
and
right.
organic.
And they taste better too.
Okay.
She's right.
Oh, they do. She is right.
But-
My wife is always right. My wife is always right. All right. Instead of eggs, let's talk about no, there's no solid transition here. So this guy that killed a bank robber the other day, we're not playing the video. I was like, this got to be no, there's no way. There's no way to get from here to there.
if you're eating your egg McMuffin in a restaurant and
is that this mom's
change
in
your
there.
story.
Give me 5 minutes. Or come sit over here with me. And you know what? Yeah, okay. She didn't want to. Okay, so we can keep doing the story. Okay. So now I'm not calling him a hero. The customer who, I'm not saying he's not a hero. I'm not making a judgment at all. The guy that shot an armed robber at a Houston taco joint. That's like wherever this is. It's less than 30 minutes from where I'm at. Hero customer, sorry about that. Customer who shot and killed an armed robber in Houston taco joint last week has been ordered to face a grand jury by attorney Kim Ogg, Soros-funded prosecutor who appears to have let the career criminal he put down out on bond. So the 46-year-old shooter turned himself in to police, and he is not under arrest. So his identity is not released. He's still anonymous. He really could face charges though, even though he felt his life was in danger. Certainly at the initial part of that, but there's been. I was looking at some of the comments from different people on law Twitter, and they were like, for instance, I think that one of the comments from Law of Self Defense. He said, like, the first 4 shots definitely justified. The ones after that, maybe, but you could probably get cleared on it by a grand jury. But the last one,
I started to say the last one, from what I understood, was an execution style shot. And I'm the same way. I was on board with this story and this guy up until they were like, the last shot was supposedly this execution style shot. And to me, that's cold blood. That's not self-defense anymore.
So it depends on where you're at and what the law is, but generally, at least in generally, like in Texas, and don't take this as legal advice, because it is not, because I do not know what I'm saying. But generally, if your life is threatened to the point where you're allowed to fire, you can keep shooting until the threat is neutralized. But that threat was then laying on the floor. He took the gun away and popped him again. Now, all that being said, the grand jury may come back and say, don't file charges. And even if they do say file charges and it goes to court, it'll go to a trial jury. And it only takes one guy at a trial jury to be like, nope, that was a good shoot. So, so we'll see what's happening there. But this is the face of the fella, and he looks like he's in, 60 or so. And the in this case, not the victim, but the perpetrator, right? The very obviously, this guy was threatening people around him. You'll be surprised to know, career criminal who was involved in a 2015 robbery, aggravated robbery, and with a deadly weapon, and sentenced to 15 years in prison in connection with the shooting death of 62-year-old Hamid Warwick, a cell phone store owner. So don't feel bad for the guy that got shot. That guy was a POS. It's really just a matter of law.
That's what I was going to get at for a minute. It's a cold-blooded act, so you can't really get behind that. But he got rid of somebody that just, I'm sick of wasting my taxpayer money on, there's some people that can be rehabilitated and some people that can't. And
Yeah.
you need to quit. You need to get that out of your head. Well, we can help them and we can make them a better person. Some people you can't. And so if they don't want to help them,
Yeah.
you need to quit. You need to quit. Wasting.
Maybe don't take a BB gun into anywhere in Texas and try to threaten and rob people. I mean, there couldn't be a worse place for this dumbass to do that.
No kidding.
And it's like, oh, that's just Texans talking like they're carrying guns. No, that's not what's happening.
You don't want to do that
Texans.
around these. You honestly don't want to do that around these parts either, because most people around here are concealed carry. I mean,
Yeah.
I always assume that everyone around me is a concealed carry. I know that there are
really
certain people that are around me all the time that are always carrying a gun. Members of my family and stuff that are around me, I know they're always carrying a gun.
We had a questionable incident at my office the other day, and I called the police non-emergency line. I called the police non-emergency line. I was like, "Hey, there's something shady happening here. You send a patrol car over." It took 20 minutes for them to even answer the phone, and then cop never showed up. So I am making sure that I have a plan B available to me.
Mm-hmm. I would.
Yeah. So, okay. Last story of the morning, Deacon. You are going to be so excited for this.
I'm always so excited for this.
I know. And excitement is like is enthusiastic. You're excited for the last story. Thank you.
Oh, is that not what? That's not what I meant.
Okay. Paramount orders a live-action Dungeons and Dragons series. Oh, come on now. Paramount is the studio behind Star Trek something that's on TV.
I got Paramount Plus, and I take advantage of it. It's actually one that I watch quite a bit. It's got our local CBS affiliates, and I watch live TV and stuff on there sometimes.
I don't know. I was trying to get to like some sort of a joke. Something like, oh, you're a full dad mode. You've gone all the way into the internet, brought Paramount Plus into your home. You're now a subscriber so that you can watch local news.
That's so funny because last night I was like, I'm going to bed, and I stood there for a second. And I stood behind the couch for a minute, and she goes, "What are you doing? I thought you were going to bed." It's like, I'm going to sit here and watch the first part of the news so I can see the weather. There's this storm coming through. And she looked at me and she goes, "You're such an old man."
Yeah.
I was like, what? There's a bad storm coming through here in an hour, and I want to see it coming through.
Be chill. What if it gets chilly tonight? Dungeons and Dragons is very popular. It's the most popular fantasy role-playing game of all time. And now an all-new D&D live-action series has just been ordered at Paramount Plus. Rawson Marshall Thurber wrote the pilot for the series and will direct the first episode. I don't know who this guy is. I don't think anybody does. Paramount Plus has given it show an 8-episode order. The series is a co-production between E1 and Paramount Pictures, with E1 serving as the lead studio. Exact plot details, including the elements of D&D, what canon will be used, are being kept under wraps. News of the series.
That doesn't matter because...
Why does that not matter?
Because D&D is not one of those things to where you can just, I'm going to make a D&D TV show. It's like, no, you're going to tell a fantasy story and it's going to have some D&D elements in it. And that's the only thing, because there's not, D&D is not it's not a world. All right. You've got certain things like on the screen, you've got the beholder, that thing with all the eyes. Okay.
Right.
And you've got certain dragons, and you've got in the movie, you're going to see the mimic, which is, they can mimic things. And normally it looks like a treasure chest. And when you get close, it turns into a big gaping maw of teeth. And, and you're going to see that in the movie. You're going to see an owl bear, which is a mixture between an owl and a bear. And then you're going to see a gelatinous cube. These are all Dungeons and Dragons monsters that are very recognizable. So this is the only thing about this TV show. It's going to carry the name Dungeons and Dragons, and it's going to carry It's going to carry some recognizable aspects. But other than that, it's going to be a shitty fantasy TV show with a shitty plot line and a shitty acting that's going to be canceled after 2 seasons. And they are just trying to capitalize on the popularity of D&D right now, because I was walking through Walmart the other day and I saw a children's book that was a Dungeons and Dragons children's book, JJ.
I saw one of those at Five Below over the Christmas break. It was like a kid's version of a D&D monster book or something like that. I almost took a photo. I should have taken a photo and sent it to you, but you would have been like, yeah, okay, it's a book.
I was excited about all this at first, but the more of this stuff that comes out, the more that I'm like, I don't necessarily think this is going to be good for my favorite brand longevity wise.
Right.
10 years from now,
You think it's getting milked? You think it's getting milked and it'll
getting so milked right now that my favorite brand that has been a major part of my life for over 30 years is being bastardized. And I'm not, you know, I'm trying to stay positive about it. Like, yay,
Right.
I'm not having to defend it anymore. People are accepting Dungeons and Dragons, and we're actually getting content and we're getting new stuff. But
this is
not the best.
The future is bright, Deacon, because I'm telling you, if we can get headfirst into this AI war and start the robot revolution and then defeat them, and then by that point we'll probably be like, we actually can't have electricity at all, we need to make sure we have gas stoves, no electricity, can't trust computers, then we'll be back to where like we don't really have much to do, we need D&D. See,
that's fucking genius.
So
You're
like
exactly
the future is bright. The future is bright. We just have to defeat the robots.
We have to we have to start a robot war so that
that's what I'm saying.
Can play more Dungeons and Dragons.
This and right now, if we do it right now, AI is still very stupid. Like you can trick them. They don't commit to their positions very much. If we can just start the robot war now while AI is stupid, we can win. We can win, and then we can win. We can still win.
What if we just told the AI that we started a robot war and we won, and they don't remember?
Right. Or maybe we can say, hey, AI, how do we trick AI into giving up starting the war and immediately conceding? What kind of things could we do to trick the AI into conceding in a robot war? We'll get them to give us the plan.
See, it's shit like that that's making the AI smarter. We need to go.
Yeah, we got to go, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right, and we will be back tomorrow with another episode that's better than this plain old episode. Oh, it's the wrong button.